What is up, you amazing, wonderful people? It is I, Nima, and I am going to talk about more eShop sales. In the last video, I sort of alluded to the fact that there was going to be a part 2, but I never specified. But there was a couple games I really wanted to talk about, but they just didn't really fit in to the time constraints that I had for the last video. So I figured, let's just jump back in there and talk about some more games. So this first one I want to talk about is part of a bigger universe that I want to get into. And so this game is called SteamWorld Quest Hand of Gilgamesh. And the whole SteamWorld series, I guess, is something I've always wanted to get into or understand a little bit more, and I just haven't. This was the very first SteamWorld game I picked up. I know that there's Dig 2, there's Heist, there's other games in this series, quote unquote. I'm not sure. You have to let me know down below if you guys have played them or if you're into the SteamWorld games. But anyway, I decided to pick up Hand of Gilgamesh for multiple reasons. One, because the game just looked really cool, but two, because it was on sale and it was a SteamWorld game. Now, I picked it up for $6.99, and typically it's $24.99. And this game is a turn-based card combat game, which I know, you hear turn-based, you hear card combat, you're like, I don't know. But actually, it's really fast. It's a very quick card combat. Say that 5 times fast. But no, this game is actually really cool, and they have a lot of cool little like chains and abilities that you can do that really kind of shake things up and actually have you strategizing a little bit more than just, trading blows for blow or going for the highest attack possible. And so ultimately, there's just a lot of tactics that you can use in this game. Like, if you have 3 attacks from one character in the same phase, you'll get a 4th bonus attack that can do anything from just like a bigger attack or buff or even hurt the other team. But I ended up using this the most as early as possible with my wizard, because after she does her 3 attacks, her 4th like special move will put barriers around all the other members of the team. So it really helped out to start with that strategy. And ultimately, one of the things I really liked about the game is it doesn't go too deep with the strategy and the card-based playing, and it doesn't do too much on the storytelling and that stuff to make it too heavy as well. Like, it dips your toe in just enough so you actually like a lot of the mechanics, but doesn't get overblown and where you're having to read novels just to understand how to make the game work. And the same thing can be said about the overall story, where there is this component of the story that's kind of dark, and, it pits you up against the greatest evil on Earth type thing. But at the same time, the characters seem kind of relaxed and they make the whole adventure just more fun. On to the next game, which is the furthest thing from being relaxed and silly. There's a game called Sinner: Sacrifice for Redemption. Now, this game is very much like a boss rush, sort of meets Dark Souls, if you will. There are other combat aspects of it, but most of it is against these epic demonic creatures that are done so well, like in that Bloodborne, Dark Souls aspect, where they're creepy, but yet they're huge and in some kind of ways glorious in their own messed up manner. And this game happens to play a lot like a Dark Souls, with that same combat and the ability to dash or to block, and those becoming incredibly important, as also the stamina is something that you have to pay attention to. The other main aspect of this game is that you actually start off more powerful, and with each boss you actually have to voluntarily weaken yourself before you gain access to a battle, and therein lies the sacrifice aspect of the game. The way that it's told, a lot of these are people that you've wronged in a different life. So there's your sinner aspect. But right now, this game is $3.79. It's 80% down from the original price being $18.99. And if you like the Dark Souls type games and you really are into like that really difficult combat and those big over-the-top bosses, it's a good game to check out for under $5. And if you like suspense, thrillers, but you just don't really love a lot of combat, then I got another good game for you, and it's called Trüberbrook. So this game is an interactive novel where there's a lot of emphasis on love, friendship, discovery, things of that nature, at the same time being a mystery that is incredibly suspenseful and thrilling. And this takes place in the 1960s in Germany, and you are an American physicist who won a vacation, but instead of getting some rest, you end up having to save the world. Now, this game is $2.99 right now, and it is down from its regular price of $29.99, and this game is beautiful. The visuals, the scenery, the graphics, and the sound. Voice acting is amazing in this game. I think they did a fantastic job craftfully making this game. And it's hard to argue with a 10-hour game that is cheaper than 1 gallon of gas. So that takes us back to the Dark Souls type games, and this one being Morbid, the 7 Acolytes. Now, this isn't exactly a Dark Souls clone, but it does play a lot like it. It is an action RPG based on that like stamina combat so everything is relatively fast-paced. You have those big, disgusting yet glorious, beautiful demonic monsters, and you're essentially the last line in a world that is failing. It is you. You've trained for this your entire life, and now it's your chance to defeat the 7 acolytes. Now, I've not played this game, but it looks really cool, and honestly, I'm going to pick it up because it is $6.24, down from $24.99, and it definitely doesn't look like Dark Souls. It's a little bit more of like a top-down game, which I'm really more interested in checking out right now, and that just seems really fun. Also, I like the art style, which is more of a pixel art style, so yeah, I would definitely check it out, and $24.99, probably too high for me, but $6.24, it's a great price. Another game that is on a really good price right now is a game called Sparklight. Now, this game is typically $24.99, but right now it is $4.99. Now, to be honest, I actually haven't had a chance to play it. I did pick it up. Trick messaged me and was like, dude, you gotta check this out, so went ahead and picked it up, but essentially it's a top-down action RPG. Think of more like the old school Zelda type games, where you battle foes in that top-down action style, using guns, gadgets, and gear, exploring dungeons, and taking down the titans of the mining industry. So there's a lot to this game, and it looks really fun. I have to say, for most of those top-down Zelda-like games, most of them are actually really great, and to be able to grab one for like $4.99, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that, especially this one, because it just looks really good. And I think it probably is worth the $24.99 price tag, so yeah, I'm definitely going to grab that for under $5. And so the last game I want to talk about is a game called Neversong. Neversong is typically $14.99, and right now it is $4.49. So you essentially play as a character named Pete. And your girlfriend is abducted, and when this happened, you are knocked into a coma. Upon waking up, Pete's only motivation is to discover what happened to her, and to investigate the creepy screams coming from the heart of Neverwood. Many things just don't seem the same. The adults seem like zombie-like creatures. Everything seems like this hauntingly dreamlike fable. So as Pete, you take on your girlfriend's trusty baseball bat, a few of your childhood pals, and you go explore to try to find out what's going on and why things seem so out of whack. And to hopefully find your girlfriend. But along the way, you're gonna find monsters, giant bosses, and yes, even real-life zombie adults. This game is rather short, but it is well worth it, and an incredibly emotional game. When you get to the end, you'll know what I'm talking about. I believe that this game comes in at about 3 to 4 hours long, and it's relatively simple. There's not a lot of crazy puzzles, but what the game has in it is really solid and really fun. There is a bit of combat that I would say with the bosses, pretty fun and pretty cool, but a lot of like the random battles or fights that you have, they're fine, but they're nothing to write home about. I actually really though did like Neversong, and I would definitely implore anyone to check it out, especially for $2.99. So thank you all for checking out this video. I apologize if it sounds like World War III going on over here. There's tons of fireworks going off. A lot of people are all excited about this special holiday, and I'm inside recording for YouTube, so you know, you can see where my priorities lay. But anyway, I appreciate all of you guys. And if you would, subscribe. Let's get this channel over to 1,000 and all that other good stuff that we need to do. I really do, though, thank all of you guys. You guys are simply amazing, and I love y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.